So now it's going?
Now it's going.
Okay. Little technical difficulty, but we should be on track now. This is again John, Jocelyn again. And again, we are not medical professionals. We're just sharing our experience in the hopes that, maybe it will help someone else, because we've never been through this before. So everything is kind of new to us. Things that seem maybe obvious to some people are not to us, and we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
A lot has happened since we last made one of these. I have actually had my transplant. I'm officially engrafted, which is when the donor cells are starting to, basically, they're being accepted by my body, and they're beginning to produce the things they need to produce, like the white blood cells, the red blood cells. There's a third one I can't think of.
Neutrophil.
No, so that coagulates the blood.
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobins, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. But that, and then we've also, we were in the hospital for 30 days, and now we are at Hope Lodge.
Yeah.
So a lot's happened.
Hope Lodge, for those of you who don't know, they have Hope Lodges almost in every state. And
Quite a few.
Yeah, what it is it's a place for cancer patients to stay who are from far away. Like, even though Lawrence isn't that far away from Kansas City, we still had to stay at the Hope Lodge in Kansas City because after a transplant, they want you within 20 minutes of the hospital.
Right.
And obviously, since we're in New York now, we have to stay at the Hope Lodge. And it's absolutely free. It's amazing. It's great. It's not a hospital bed. And
Right. Get a little more freedom.
Yeah.
Which is very much welcomed.
And a lot of times groups come in and cook for you. Like tonight, a group of people came in and they cooked chili, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
It was nice too, because we had to go out today, so we take a shuttle to go to the hospital. We take a shuttle to come back. So after you get home, it's nice to have it's awesome when there's a meal waiting there for you.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. But yeah, we had the actual transplant. That was a big moment, and although everybody said it was anticlimactic, I would say that it definitely was. Turns out it was just a large syringe filled with, seems like about that much fluid, and they came in and hooked it up to my port or my trifusion, and slowly put it in my body, and that was that. There was no, all of a sudden I felt miraculously better or anything like that. But that was the process of the transplant.
Yeah, and they said that in a year we can contact the donor and see if they want to talk to us. So
Which
I
is
think
pretty neat.
we're kind of wanting to do that.
Yeah, that would be
Just to
pretty
reach
phenomenal.
out,
Right.
because the donor's from Utah,
Yeah, that much we know. That's
Yeah.
all we're allowed to know so far. So.
and it was a guy.
And it was a guy,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. So yeah, we had the actual transplant, and then the next big step that happened was the engraftment, which, did I say what that was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the engraftment, that was actually, to me, was kind of big news. It wasn't anticlimactic like the actual transplant to me. That was really a big moment there.
Yeah.
That felt like, okay, this is actually happening, it's my body is accepting it, and it was a big relief to know that was kind of officially occurred. And so yeah, we spent 30 days in the hospital. That was very challenging, I think, for both of us, very challenging.
Yeah.
I know for me, I felt confined to the room for the most part, even though I could take a walk around the floor to get a little bit of exercise and get out of the bed. So that was very challenging to me, and there were a lot of ups and downs. There were days where my lunch consisted of a 12-ounce smoothie, and then I just sipped it, basically. That was my lunch, that was all I could keep down, and it really didn't even sound good to me, but at least I was able to do that. And so that was getting some nutrition, and that counts. It counts for a lot when you're feeling that way. And I know for Jocelyn there were a lot of challenges.
There were some challenges. It was hard to see him, struggle through the nausea and the getting sick and everything. And it was hard to see him. He had a little bit of depression there for a while. That was concerning. You know, and I think we both had moments of depression. I know I did. Just because watching someone you love go through this is not easy. Being in a city where you don't know anybody is not
Right.
easy. And like, I would kind of go out and try to, you know, navigate the city on my own, and I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did
for
great.
the most part.
And I was glad that she went out. I was glad that she got out for herself, you know.
Yeah, because that's definitely changed here. So once we're in the
What do you
whole
mean?
lodge,
Oh, right.
I am the caregiver.
You're right,
Yeah.
exactly. Right.
Like in the hospital, the staff took care of John, but here I am the caregiver. You know, I help with meds, and at the Hope Lodge we have a very kind of limited space in the freezer and the fridge, and we have a cupboard. So it's kind of hard to like plan healthy meals to where he's gonna get all of his vitamins, all of his fiber, all of his protein, you know, and healthy protein,
Right.
not just junk, you know, like lean meats. We've done beans
Yeah.
a few times, and I try to make a meal that will last a couple days, because he can reheat a meal once before he has
Right.
to stop eating it, you know. And on days when I'm not feeling the greatest, we do frozen meals.
Yeah, we do. They're good.
They're good, yeah.
And they're very welcome, believe me, on days when we're not feeling so great. And there's a lot of nutritional guidelines. You get pamphlets about it. You get meetings with nutritionists about it, which is all very good.
Yeah.
Because it's all worth it. To follow those guidelines has been well worth it. The three things I think for me here at the Hope Lodge have been drinking plenty of water every day, eating 3 meals a day, and getting out and going for a walk. Those have been, they sound very basic, very rudimentary, but I think they're very important. And that's what I was told by my doctors as well. So we've kept up with that, I feel like every day.
Yeah, we have.
And that's been really great because so far, overall, my recovery has gone very smooth. There's been some little ups and downs. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 2 days ago, I started experiencing nausea again. I don't know why. Thankfully, it wasn't overwhelming, and I had the medication I needed to regulate that. One thing we were told, we were surprised actually. I think both surprised. We were told that I could go out without a mask and gloves. But we've chosen that both, I think, are on board with the fact that anytime I leave the Hope Lodge, I wear a mask and I wear gloves. It's just every little thing, I think, to me counts, as far as it's not worth the risk of not doing it.
Yeah.
Because we want to go smooth.
Yeah. And I was surprised things are a lot different from KU and Memorial Sloan Kettering. When he had his first transplant at KU, they were very strict, like don't go outside, don't get fresh air, stay in your house, don't go for walks. And here, they're like, get outside, go for walks, build up your strength. And I think that that's helped him heal better and quicker, because I feel like, I don't know if this is right, but I feel like you are doing better after this transplant than you did with your own donated cells.
Yeah, I feel like as well. Yeah, that is true. One thing I'm grateful for is as soon as I came out, my appetite came back, which was very much welcomed.
Yeah.
It was a real struggle while I was in the hospital. I would look at their menu and look at it, and just nothing looked good, nothing sounded good. And again, that goes back to the days where, you know, having a smoothie for lunch was, that's what worked that day. You know, if that's what did it, that's what did it. But it was important to have something. You know.
Yeah.
It counted. It all counts.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big thing.
It's true. And I'm thankful. I'm very thankful that Jocelyn has reached out for support for herself as well, because it's been challenging. She had to wear a mask and gloves. The irony is, while we were in the hospital, she had to wear a mask and gloves.
Yeah.
And how was that the whole time?
It was not fun.
Yeah.
I had got a lot of headaches from it.
Yeah, and you had the behind the ears.
Chafing, and it kind of, you feel kind of like you're smothering.
Yeah.
Like that on your face, all the time.
Yeah.
It was really hard to sleep in.
Yeah, see, now it's my turn. I have to do it for a few hours, a few times, well, actually, each day during our walks I do it, but then a few hours while we go to our hospital visits, and it's like, oh my gosh, man, my ears are hurting, and I'm feeling like I can't wait to get this thing off.
Yeah.
But those are the things, and one of the things that she learned is, what did they have? They had those
little cushions, little bitty.
right, that you could
We
put.
should maybe ask for some tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I need some of those, because
Yeah.
they're starting to hurt my ears, you know.
Tomorrow we get the results of the bone marrow biopsy.
Right, we're kind of on another big moment.
Yes. How are you feeling about that?
Ah, boy. I'm trying not to think about it a whole lot, to be honest with you. It's scary, the idea that they may say, well, we found that there's still myeloma cells in there. On the other hand, the elation that I can imagine if they say that you're in remission. So it's a big moment. And I'm trying to stay with the mindset that, one, it's going to be positive news, and two, that no matter what the news, that we're going to be able to handle it, and we're going to be able to continue to move forward. It's not a time to give up or anything.
Right.
It will be tough to hear if it's not positive news, but those are just more of the ups and downs of the whole journey, How are you feeling?
Like, I've felt like I'm gonna throw up this whole week.
Oh.
I think within the last 2 nights I've gotten combined 8 hours of sleep.
Oh.
I haven't been sleeping. But I went to a doctor today to talk about that, and they gave me some medicine to help me. It's a non-addicting medicine to help me sleep, so maybe I'll get more than 3 hours tonight.
I hope so.
I do too, because I'm exhausted.
And again, I think it's just so important that Jocelyn gets help as well, because as from the beginning, I mean, we're both going through this. I may be the patient and the one who has to experience the chemotherapy, let's say, but we're both going through this, We're both going through the emotional ups and downs. And especially when it comes to moments like this, like finding out the results of the biopsy tomorrow, that's a big moment.
Yeah. It's been challenging, and it's been a little challenging, like a culture shock, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, we're from Kansas, and we're right dab in the middle of New York City, right in Manhattan. Again, we're grateful to Hope Lodge, because we wouldn't be able to afford this kind of lodging. There's no way. We would have had to say that we couldn't do it. But thanks to Hope Lodge, we're able to do that. And but still, it is just thankfully too. There are shuttles that take us from the Hope Lodge to the hospital for appointments and back.
Yeah, because Uber and taxis are expensive.
Right.
When you're doing it like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also, one of the biggest things that's different here is that no personal space at all. None.
Yeah.
None. And when you walk down the street, nobody says hi.
Yeah.
Or in the hallways. You don't talk to people that you don't know, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm from a tiny town.
Right.
Originally.
Right.
And you say hi to everybody. Here, people think you're crazy if you say hi to them.
Right.
It's like, what do you want? You want my money or something? And there's no holding doors. There's none of that.
That's right.
You're kind of on your own here.
Yeah, you're very much on your own. That's true.
Yeah.
But we found that in the beginning of just going to the grocery store was very challenging. Stressful is what it was. It was very stressful. But I feel like after how long have we been at Hope Lodge now?
Today's 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're beginning to. It's not so stressful. We're beginning to get a handle on it. We're beginning to know our way around. So those are just the challenges, I think, of being in a completely different city from what you're used to. And there's some homesickness,
Yeah, I go back and forth between I really want to be at home to wow, I love it here. I don't ever want to go home. But I want to go home to see my family.
Yeah.
I like the temperatures here much better in the summer
That's
than
true.
in Kansas. Oh my God. But yeah, I do miss my family and friends, you know, nice people,
Yeah.
friendly people, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna post a video of the transplant.
Yeah, the actual transplant.
Because it was really cool. It was
Yeah,
really
it was.
cool.
It was a neat moment. It was anticlimactic, but it was a really neat moment.
I was just amazed that it was just so simple.
Right, that's what it was. Amazing.
And they did it in his hospital room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there wasn't an operation room
Mm-mm.
involved or anything. It was really, they just brought in this big syringe and boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You know?
Right. It was super quick.
Yeah.
Super fast.
And we were actually laughing and joking during that whole experience too,
Yeah.
while the transplant was occurring.
And I was glad that I got to be in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was special.
that was special.
It was special. And what we won't post because we didn't videotape it was right after the transplant. We just kind of sat and hugged each other and cried for a little bit.
Yeah, that
I
we
think
did.
because it was just a relief, you know, because we've been trying to get
Yeah,
the transplant since last year,
yeah,
last March.
right, yeah, exactly. Well,
Wasn't it March?
no, I think it was more this
September.
transplant. Yeah, right.
September. Yes.
Which is a long time, a lot of ups and
Yeah.
downs just to get to that final
Mhm.
actual moment when it actually occurred. So we're happy to say that that has happened, and I think we're about at the time that we
Yeah.
agreed. You
We
have
were
anything
trying
else
to
you want
make
to
it
say?
shorter this time.
Yeah, we went a little long last time. We didn't know that was
Yeah.
probably nobody wants to hear us talk that long.
No. But yeah, so I think we're gonna do a video about the transplant, and then also the results of the biopsy.
Yeah, we will,
So,
whatever they may be.
Mhm. So, yeah, it's tough, but it's also going a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, anyways,
All right.
we're gonna see you later.
Thanks.
Bye.